Hi guys, welcome to your next video. This is a video on Unit 1, Module 1, Short Story, Week number 2, Discussion number 5. Let's see, I have gone to discussions. I just clicked on discussions from the home page. Remember, you can toggle through all the features of the course on the left-hand side here. And we're going to click on number 5. Number 5 is a really important kind of big discussion because it's involving two great authors. Here we have Jamaica Kincaid, who is from the West Indies, and we also have Amy Tan, who is a Chinese-American writer. Both phenomenal writers, very well known, have been around for decades and been writing for decades and have influenced American literature greatly. And so we are looking at one of each of their stories. The first one we're going to start with is in your packet. You can click on your link, it'll open up and you can open up the PDF. I have it open here. Kincaid, born in 1949. It gives you a little background on Kincaid. I'll just read it so you can kind of listen along. It says, Girl is a short story, a short story, a subgenre that sometimes defies the conventions of story, especially of plot. Kincaid's work is noted for its highly lyrical quality, and it might make sense to read Girl the way you read a poem or listen to a song. Originally published in The New Yorker in 1978, it was the first story in her first book, At the Bottom of the River. Most of the stories in that book develop the mother-daughter theme introduced here. Much of Kincaid's fiction, like this story, has the flavor of her West Indian culture. This is a story that launched Kincaid's career, so super important and really short. So that's the first one that you're going to be reading. The second one, if we click back over here to the discussion, is Amy Tan's. Oh, just to back up for a sec, if you really want to enjoy this, I would suggest that you read it on your own, and then click on the YouTube link. We're so lucky to have Kincaid read her piece.
It's called Girl, and it goes like this. Wash the white clothes on Monday and put them on the stone heap.
So that's just a little taste of what it's going to be like to hear Kincaid read her piece. We're really fortunate to listen to a writer, Kincaid specifically, read her own piece. So again, Girl by Jamaica Kincaid is the first story in this discussion. You're reading two short stories, and we're lucky enough to have the audio video versions of them as well. So for Amy Tan's story, Amy Tan is known for writing The Joy Luck Club. You may or may not have heard of that particular story, but it's a major story in American lit. Many people are familiar with it. But the one that we're reading is a short story called Fish Cheeks. And so we have a PDF link here. And so there's lots of versions of the PDF. I just found this one that looked really easy to read, and so I picked this one. So again, you're going to read over her story. And then there's some questions here which I think are really useful. You can see how short her story is. It's as short as Kincaid's, if not actually shorter. And then there's elements of nonfiction. So this is actually a nonfiction piece based on her life, but so is Kincaid's, although it's classified as fiction, because the line between fiction and nonfiction can be very blurry. But there are some questions here that you can skim over if you want to delve a little bit deeper into the story. And then there's also kind of a little mini little quiz to kind of test your knowledge here at the end. But mainly you're just focused on this first page, which is Amy Tan's story, Fish Cheeks. If we go back to the discussion, you can click on the YouTube video.
Fish Cheeks by Amy Tan. I fell in love with the minister's son the winter I turned 14.
So there's a little preview of Amy Tan's piece being read. And so we have two stories. They're both about 4 minutes each as far as the reading. And then after you've gone over the stories, then it's time to post. Remember, our discussions have the same kind of format. It's read, kind of take notes, and then hop on the discussion to create something in writing, and then read and respond to other classmates' posts. So for this one, you have a few different options of posting. So you're going to choose one of the bullets here and write a 2-paragraph response to one of the following prompts. So you can compare and contrast these two stories, and that will actually be really useful if you decide for essay number 1 to compare and contrast two stories that we've read. You'll have kind of a primer, a little rough draft there. The next option is discuss Kincaid's Girl using the concepts of story. The third option is discuss Tan's Fish Cheeks using the concepts of story. So these are the concepts that are in what are short stories in our packet. Again, this one here. And so you can kind of, as a refresher, look at symbol, tone, theme, plot, look at those elements of story, character, and kind of delve deeper into your analysis of the story and understand it on a deeper, more profound level. The next one is, the next prompt is connect on a personal level to Kincaid's girl. How do you relate? How is it relevant today? And then the last one is connect on a personal level to Tan's story, Fish Cheeks. How do you relate? How is it relevant today? So these are super important questions for essay number 1 because they're kind of running along that same line of what I'm going to be asking you to do for essay number 1. Remember, on essay number 1, which is due next week, you want to get started on that, or actually it's due the Monday after next week. So you have a little bit of time to work on it, but it's going to be coming up soon. You know, essays take time to kind of develop and grow into these beautiful things that we're proud of writing and proud of turning in. And so we can get all our great ideas out and develop them properly. But one of your options will be to connect on a personal level to the story, one of the 4 stories that we've read. So remember, the 4 stories are Kate Chopin's The Story of an Hour, Ernest Hemingway's Hills Like White Elephants, Kincaid's Girl, and then lastly, Amy Tan's Fish Cheeks. So those are the ones we're going to be working with for essay number 1. Once you've posted your 2-paragraph response, and really I made it 2-paragraph response here so you can push yourself a little further and write a little bit more. It's not to stress you out, it's to challenge you to kind of delve deeper into what you think and then just allow your own stream of consciousness to let the words come out from your heart onto the page. And so I know that sounds cheesy, but that's how writing works. It's a creative act. And so lastly, you're going to read other classmates' posts and then respond to one classmate in a thoughtful paragraph. Remember, when I ask you to respond, you're engaging in conversation. You guys are doing a really great job of it. I feel really inspired and excited to hop on the discussions and read all your ideas about inductive reasoning and the meaning of a story and how you relate to it. I find it just a really inspiring experience. So you're doing a great job. I wish you good luck with this discussion, and I encourage you to start letting your mind kind of take over and do some of the work of pondering, brainstorming, thinking about what you want to write for essay number 1. Which of the 4 short stories do you feel connected to in a way that you could write about it in an essay? And so that's what's happening for week 2, discussion number 5. I hope this video is useful, and I really anticipate and hope that you enjoy these 2 short stories by 2 amazing writers and women.